Hi, this is Christine, Venus Astrology, here with your daily astrology delivery. I'm back to hopefully making these every day again. I stopped making them last week when I realized how bad the sound was. It was a pretty high-pitched noise, but I've fixed it, I think. So hopefully the sound is better now for you. Okay, so today we have the moon over here. And let me fix it up so you can see, actually in Leo at 23 degrees of Leo, so towards the last decan of that sign, the last third of that sign. So when the moon is in Leo, we can feel more expressive about our feelings and emotions, like we can tap into that more. It's about being in the heart, so when we express ourselves, it's from the heart. It's like wearing our heart on our sleeves. It's also a very playful sign too, and childlike, so it's about tapping into our inner child to find that inner security. So, by doing things like play and expressing ourselves and being creative and being dramatic, if that's what it is, like in the sense of play and fun and stuff like that, all those things, acting. If we're doing it from that heart space and all that during this time, then it can be really good for our inner child. It's really good when we can connect with our childlike self and have that playtime. So when the moon is in Leo, that definitely comes up for us, that need for that play and that childlike time, that creativity. It's a very creative sign too, as I said, expressive. And it can also be quite romantic and passionate too. It's that fiery energy. So the moon in that sign today will experience that. So let's just have a look and see what other aspects the moon may make. So we've got a sextile with Mercury, so that what we just spoke about then will be very expressive, communicative. We'll be communicating about our love and our feelings and emotions, about our heart and our heart's desires, possibly having those important conversations, expressing it. Again, as I said, it could be like through poetry, through communication, through speaking, whatever it is, through writing. We could be, journaling or writing or whatever kind of communication, basically, about our feelings and emotions from a heart level and expressing them, being expressive about them, especially with that Mercury in Gemini, its own home sign. It's very expressive about its thoughts and ideas and what it has to say. So what else is going on? So the moon will also make a trine over here with Mars in Aries, and also Mars is getting towards those last degrees too. So Mars is going to move into Taurus soon, and that will slow Mars down. Mars is our drive, our passion. It's our where we're putting our like our action towards what we're doing. Our action is very action orientated. So those things will slow down. So it'll be a slower action that we take once Mars moves into Taurus. So this is a really good time while it's in those last degrees, and when it's 29 degrees, it becomes the most intense to do those things, go after those things, start those things, initiate things, be bold, be true to who you are, your identity, and go after the things that you really desire and are passionate about. Initiate and start things, because then when Mars moves into Taurus, it sort of sets things in stone. So whatever we initiate with that Mars and Aries energy, then when the Mars moves into Taurus, we can really ground it and really commit to it for the long haul, and be able to have the energy to go the long haul and not just burn out and stop and finish, and not be able to complete or move forward for the long term and build something stable from it, which is what Taurus wants to do. So that is that. Sorry. All right, we have Neptune over here as well at 25 degrees. So that's making it in conjunct. So that's going to just make us a little bit more dreamy and more not, so clear and focused and within reality, especially as we look to. So that Mercury over here in Gemini, and that Neptune and Pisces there are making a square, a 90 square. We've got Pisces, a 90-degree angle. We've got air and water. So that square is going to maybe not make the communication as clear as the thoughts, the communication, our speaking, our writing, all of those things. Our learning is going to be a bit more Neptunian, so it's more dreamy, it's more not so much straight to the point and truthful and honest and upfront. It's more beat around the bush. It's more, there's hidden aspects to what we're saying or what we're thinking, or there's a part that's like, or we're seeing things more dreamy and with rose-coloured, rose-tinted glasses and seeing things not as what they really are. There's a bit of illusionary energy there, and but it also can be the other side of that energy is, because it is a square too actually, so it's not going to be the other side which is more positive. It's going to be the more tense aspects, which is like more struggles, and with the communication. Because of that, we're like in a lost in dreamy world or daydreaming and stuff like that, so it's hard to communicate and all that. It's there could be some hard lessons around being truthful and honest about our communication and stuff like that, or something. Or like I said before, people not being so upfront and straightforward, beating around the bush a bit because of that square as well, because it's going to bring an obstacle or slow things down, or make us detour or go another way or something like that. Maybe because of what something that someone says or something like that, or some kind of realization of something that we've learnt or discovered or whatnot as well. It can also make us more, I guess, more in an anxious headspace, maybe possibly too, or depressive headspace with that tense energy, because we could feel a bit burdened in some way, or like there's, whether it's a lot to be done or a lot to be said, or a lot that is hard to say or something like that as well. So we've also got this Mars here. Wow, there's a lot of aspects happening today. This is a lot. So this is a very interesting day. We've got Mars as well, that's, making aspects to that energy too. Mars is in a sextile with Mercury, but with the moon will later be in a trine with Mars. So we'll be definitely, that will make us more expressive about our feelings and emotions, but it's going to be more from the heart center, but also from that fiery ego center too, of what we really desire and what we want. We're going to be more passionate about that, and also it can be a bit more selfish in a sense, like we want what we want and we're going to go after what we want no matter what, in a sense, in a way. Not that Leo is like that, but that Mars energy is there, and it is a trine, so it's providing that fiery energy, that egotistic energy in a sense, from that cocky, courageous energy from the Leo moon, to sort of be more bold and courageous and say what we want or go after what we want and all that too. But there is still going to be that bit of confusion there from that Neptune there, in some sense or some way. So, yeah, Mars is getting stronger as it's moving towards that 29th degree too. So it's getting more restless and wanting to, like, just, I want what I want and I want it now, because it knows when it goes into Taurus, like, it's going to slow down and have to ground into whatever it's got right now. So it could be those last in the next few days, or let's have a look, let's see when Mars moves. So Mars, if we go one day, Mars is at 29 degrees tomorrow, and then so within like 2.5 days basically, Mars is going to move out of that. So we've got Mars is going to be feeling really intense at the moment at those last degrees, trying to get everything he wants to get done and established and started and initiated, and Also, it's going to be like a very much, you know, anything that's in my way, I'm going to speak up, and especially with that sextile there, it's very much going to be like I'm going to speak up and say what I need to, because it's all about me in a sense, and my identity and who I am and what I'm about and what I'm going after. But Mars has had some healing from that Chiron too, so it is, you know, made us step more in our identity. But, you know, any sense of Mars at its strong point is always warrior energy. It's like going after what it wants. It's fighting to get what it wants, standing up for what it wants. It's leading the way in some sense as well. So, okay, I don't want to go on too long. So I think that's pretty tense enough to leave you with for the day. I will talk to you on tomorrow's. Just, you know, that's pretty intense day, a lot of stuff going on, so just the best advice I guess is always just to tune into yourself and just trying to be gentle with yourself, and like don't push too hard, even though that Mars is there wanting to, but just try and you know, use the good energy of like what we said, like expressing yourself from the heart today. That's like the most important thing, being honest and truthful and not getting deceived or you know, sweeping things under the rug, or not saying things, being straight to the point and stuff like that. That Mars wants to be more straight to the point too. So being honest and truthful, straight to the point, and like taking that action on the things that you want before we run out of that initiating energy and it's more grounded. So get going, I guess. Take care. I'll talk to you tomorrow, and yeah.